welcome to another episode of Creating with Mrs. Small. I'm back in the studio today and I'm ready to open up your Squishmallows Campcasso Art Box. So friends, the first thing you need today is your little Squishmallow that is inside your box. I have a hedgehog. The next thing I need you to find is your white watercolor piece of paper. I put mine on top of a clipboard just so I can easily show you as I'm drawing here in the studio. The next thing you need to get from your supply bag is your box of crayons. Where's my box? There's the bag. You want to take that box of crayons right out and open them ready to go next to you. You also need your Sharpie marker, a bowl of water, your blue paintbrush, a paper towel, and your watercolor paint. Mine are right here. All right, my loves, once you're all set up and ready to create, give a nice big thumbs up and stretch those hands way above your heads. Oh, give yourself a stretch because we are going into art time. Go ahead and uncap that Sharpie marker. Put the cap right onto the butt of that Sharpie marker. And I'm going to take my little Squishmallow and I'm going to kind of balance him on my table so I can see him because we are going to draw that baby Squishmallow. Now, my piece of paper is a big piece of paper and I know yours at home is the same size as mine here in the studio. So we're not going to be drawing teeny tiny. We need to fill up our piece of paper. So grab that marker. I want you to watch and listen. Watch and listen. Mrs. Small's turn first, and then it's your turn. All right? So I'm gonna come up to the top of my paper, and I'm gonna create a line that is the top of my Squishmallow. And I'm gonna go all the way down. My Squishmallow is kind of shaped a little bit like a gumdrop. Isn't that funny? Little gumdrop candy shape. There is the start of my Squishmallow. So the next thing I'm gonna create, mine has little ears. You see those two little ears on the tippity top? Does yours have ears? Maybe yours has some type of hair or something that's fuzzy or spiky on the top of his head. My ears are a round shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and create two arches, which are gonna become the ear of my Squishmallow. Then I'm going to take a look at my Squishmallow's face. All right, my Squishmallow has two eyes, a cute little nose, and a tiny little mouth. So I'm going to look right down at my Squishmallow and I'm going to start to draw the shapes that I see, just like you are at home. Take your time. There's one eye. You don't need to rush. Follow the shapes in your face. Slow yourself down. There's no rush in drawing. My Squishmallow kind of comes down a little bit around his face and then it pops out along the sides. Now I gotta work on that little nose. And I create an upside down triangle. And inside that triangle, I'm gonna make a little tiny heart. What shape will you use for your little tiny Squishmallow's nose? And then I'm gonna create his mouth. His mouth is gonna come down from his nose. Take a look closely at how yours looks. So that's how mine looks. And that's how I decided to draw it. Now on my Squishmallow, there are all these tiny little lines. You see those little light brown lines? It's because he's a little hedgehog or a little porcupine. So I'm gonna create those little spikes, little pricklies all over, and I'm gonna sprinkle them throughout my hedgehog, all right? So this is your chance to really start to look at your Squishmallow and draw what you see. Draw what you see. Sometimes as we draw, we like to use our imaginations, and that is the best thing about doing art. So if you have an idea, like maybe you want to add a heart to your Squishmallow. My Squishmallow does not have a heart on him, but I think I'm going to add a heart. Why not, right? I'm going to put a heart right in the middle of his belly, just like that. I'm going to go up to the ears and I'm going to create an extra detail in the ear. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, go for it. It's your art. You get to decide what to do with it. Now I want to fill up my background. So as you're working on your Squishmallow, I'm going to start looking at all of this white negative space behind my Squishmallow. I'm going to use that Sharpie marker and I am going to create a wavy line like the ocean. Summer waves. Has anybody been to the beach yet? Up and down. See if you can make a little line with your arm. Up and down. If you are ready to move to your background, maybe you start to create a line that you know how to make. Maybe you have an idea and you want to make your Squishmallow in a specific place. Maybe you want to build a garden around your Squishmallow. Those are all my wavy lines. Once you feel like you're all done with your Sharpie, you get to decide. You need to take that cap it up. Save your Sharpie. It goes right back into your bag, right back into your Campcasso Art Box. Okay? You're doing good. All right, keep on drawing. Keep on creating. Awesome work. Beautiful job. Good job holding that marker. If your hands are feeling tight, put that marker down and give your hands a good wiggle, a good stretch out. If you're ready, go ahead and get that box of crayons that we talked about in the beginning. Open them up. I put mine into a little bowl just so they wouldn't roll off my table. You now have to color the entire picture, okay? I'm going to show you two different ways to color. The first way to color is to do it, let me get close up to you. The first way to do it is nice and light. And I'm moving my crayon in one direction, back and forth, side to side. That's one way to do it. The other way is to use your crayon and to go darker and press hard, using your muscle and pressing in hard so the color comes out really dark. You see how much darker that blue is than the light orange I made? So why don't you try using two different kinds of pressures when playing with your crayons today? Press down really hard to get a dark line, and then try pressing really light. Maybe you want to overlap colors. I just took this nice golden yellow and I'm starting to put it on top of my orange. It's creating a new color. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice work, my friends. The great thing about these art Campcasso boxes is you can take a break. Whenever you're ready to stop, just hit pause on your video, go have a snack. Maybe you need to get ready for bed. Maybe you gotta go have dinner. Maybe you're leaving to go to camp. Maybe you're going outside to ride your bike. Just hit pause. Put your art supplies away and then come back and I'll be right back here to meet you. So there's no rush this summer when working with your art kits. You get to decide when you start and when you stop. Of course, the grown-up in your house also gets to help you make those decisions. All right, for my older kids that are working side by side with me today, I'm gonna take this orange and I'm gonna start to create a shadow around this black line right there. So I've got this dark shadowy spot and then light on the inside. Younger kids, you guys can try a shadow too. Don't be afraid to try something. Maybe in your Squishmallow you see something like you want to change the colors of your little Squishmallow. You don't want them to match. That's totally fine. There's no red in my little hedgehog, but I like this red, so I'm going to use the red up in my ears. It's kind of like a raspberry color. You make the decisions on what you want to do. So the goal, my loves, is to color the entire piece of art, okay? All right, so you go ahead, turn on some music, stand up, get your crayons, and let's get coloring. You ready? Go. Don't forget to breathe in and breathe out. In and out. You do not need to rush to a destination. There's nowhere you have to go right now. It's your time to create your art. You know, creating art is also the beginning of storytelling. It's how artists can talk to each other without words. Did you know that? That's true. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Keep on coloring. Play with layering those colors, maybe making patterns, pressing down with your muscles, lightening up in some areas. Press and release. And my little baby Squishmallow. It's looking extra cute. All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to the ears. And these wiggly lines I made in the beginning, they do remind me of waves in the ocean. And I am definitely going to be swimming this summer. I'm more of a pool person than an ocean person. I like to go to the ocean, but if I'm at the ocean, you will find me on the hot, hot sand. I like being all warm and toasty with plenty of sunscreen on, of course. Maybe my cold lemonade or an icy drink like a smoothie or a Slurpee. Delicious. Maybe you'll go get some ice cream tonight. So I'm working on my background right now, and I'm just putting in a little bit of blue first. Artists, please know you are not needing to copy me. When you see Mrs. Small on one of these videos, it's not to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm here to help you and to inspire you, but you are the artist. I'm my own artist. So your ideas are gonna be very different than my ideas, and that's okay. Good job. A fun way for me to see your finished product and your finished masterpiece is if you will have your grown-up take a picture when you're all done. You can be in the picture if you want. And you can either post your picture on your grown-up's Instagram or Facebook and tag Campcasso, of course. That's how I will see it. Or your grown-up can email me. Okay? You can email me, Miss Emily, Miss Christine, Miss Sally, Miss Kelsey, Miss Alana, Mr. Jacob. Any of us are here to help you. And you can email us and show us your beautiful masterpiece. We would love to get those pictures this summer. Maybe what we'll do at the end of the summer is we'll collect all of the Campcasso Art Box artists and we'll do like a virtual art show. All right, my sweet friends, I am done with my crayons. If you are still doing crayons, go for it. Pause me and keep on working with your crayons. If you are ready to move on, go ahead and put those crayons away. They can go right back into your box and right back into your bag so they're safe and sound for the next project you might try doing. You're doing great. So go ahead and pause that video if you're still working in your crayons. Maybe you're actually still drawing with Sharpie marker. That's okay. Go ahead and pause. And if you're staying with me on to painting, go ahead and grab your bowl of water, your paper towel, and your paint palette that was in your kit. Good job. You have 2 paintbrushes in your kit. You have a larger blue one and then a thin blue one. You can take both of those out if you want, especially if you have a lot of little details. Now, you want to make sure that your paintbrush gets nice and wet, so go ahead and dip that right into your water. And I'm going to start actually with some bright yellow paint. I'm feeling a yellow vibe right now, and I'm actually going to start behind my Squishmallow in my background. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that nice wet paintbrush, put it right on top of my yellow paint, mix, mix, mix. I might need to add a little bit of water. Go for it. This yellow has plenty of water in it, and I'm ready to add it to my paper. So I'm going to push and pull that yellow all the way down. Ooh, it's going to create some drips too. You notice too, artists, that I have a lot of paint on my paintbrush right now, so I don't need to constantly be dipping it back in the paint. Look at how much paint I'm getting out of this paintbrush. Look at this. This is incredible. Ooh, I'm starting to run out. Am I gonna make it? I think I can make it. Yes. Woo! First color. I'm moving on to my next color. I'm gonna go ahead and take my paintbrush, give it a wash in the water, find that paper towel and tap, tap, tap. Add another dip of water. And I'm gonna go into some magenta, mixing up on my palette, which I'm sorry, you can't see because it's on my table and both my hands are busy right now. Here's my magenta. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push and pull that paint all the way across, creating different colors in my background. Oh, once again, you guys, I have a good amount of paint on this brush and enough water. Ooh, that is nice covering. And I'm kind of going back and forth. Okay, now I'm gonna do something cool. See that crayon right there? I'm gonna give my paintbrush a wash. Tap, tap, tap for a dry. Give another dunk of water. I'm gonna go to green. And I'm gonna take this green paint and I'm gonna put it on top of my crayon. So what's happening is that green paint is sticking to the white part of the paper, the part that my crayon didn't touch. That is creating a relief. Okay? Now, if it starts to get kind of puddly, you can take your paper towel, tap, 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 and pick that up. Just like if you were here in the studio working with me. Make sure you have a good amount of paper towels next to you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my little guy down, set my paper towel back up, my water, my brush, my paints, and I take a nice deep breath in and out, in and out, and I'm ready to paint my masterpiece. Let's go. Mix up some orange. Since my background is kind of like a beach theme, since we've been talking about the beach, I'm gonna go ahead and create a lot of earth tone colors. So earth tone colors are your browns, your tans, maybe some yellows and some greens. kind of funny. My little hedgehog is earth tone, right? He's in the brown family, but I'm actually gonna make my hedgehog really bright when I get to him. I'm not gonna do a traditional hedgehog. He's an art hedgehog. If you want to name your little Squishmallow, you could go ahead and name your Squishmallow. There's my green. All right, keep going with my earthy colors. I'm gonna pick kind of a brick. This reddish, it's almost like a raspberry brick color, which I feel like I have seen this color out in nature before. Yeah, like in berries. Go on a nature hike, a walk. Has anybody been strawberry picking maybe? Sometimes there are strawberries that are that kind of deeper red color. All right, my background is done, all completed. I'm gonna go ahead and wash that paintbrush off, dry it on my paper towel. This is a good time if you need to pause. If you feel like your water is getting really dirty, pause and then go into the bathroom or the kitchen and fill up your bowl. Now this is my trick, you guys. You do not need to fill your bowl up to the tippity top. You do not need a lot of water, okay? So don't come back to your table like holding and shaking and all of a sudden it's spilling and then you got puddles on the ground and then somebody slips or trips and whoo, that is a mess. You don't need a lot of water. Just dump out the dirty water, put a little splash of new water in, and go right back to your art table. If you need to take a break, you know how to pause, go ahead and pause. And if we're still gonna create, pick up that paintbrush because we're not done painting. All right, I said I'm gonna go wild inside. I think I'm gonna do like a rainbow in my Squishmallow, okay? So I'm gonna start with some red, and I'm gonna do red first, and I'm going right on top of this purple crayon that I put on here. And then I'm gonna do orange, except my orange has a little bit of brown in it right now. I'll have to clean that out later. All right, there's a little bit of orange in there. You are doing fantastic. Look at those brush strokes. If you have too much water in your paintbrush and you're starting to create a puddle and that feels frustrating, stop, take a break, get a paper towel, press down, pick up. Not going anywhere right now. You're not going to a destination. You're just here creating. There's no right way to do this and there's no wrong way to do this. This is one way to paint. Okay, my rainbow is looking great. Let's get some blue in here. A little bit more water. Oh no, I got a puddle in his eye. Oh well, I guess I'll just paint his eyes blue. It was a happy accident. Push and pull all the way around. You know what, I'm loving that yellow. I think I want to add more to yellow, but I'm going to add some like sea foam green to this. And then I think I'll end with the yellow. That yellow is just, I don't know, it's something about it. It's like sunshine to me. And I love the sunshine. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this yellow right now, you guys. I can't stop. Do you have a color in your palette that you are so in love with? Woo! I'm gonna mix some pink in there. I'm gonna create a little sunset in his belly. Yeah, this is when the creating starts happening. Start to explore. You can't make a mistake, you guys. We're just having fun. It's almost like you're being a scientist. You gotta try things out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? I'm not gonna get upset about it. All right, I'm gonna take a paper towel. I'm gonna press down, pick up, press and pick up. Voila. There is my wild and funky baby Squishmallow. All right, you guys, I hope you create an awesome rest of your day. Until next time, I will see you again either here at our Campcasso Art Box or right here at one of our Campcassos.